Oh, hi everyone. Welcome back to our bi-weekly session of Storm Riders D&D. It appears this scene's a little fucky right now, but we'll fix that in a second. Hi, I'm Slappy Meats, but I'm also a bunny boy. I am the Heron Gun Ranger Fenny in this campaign here. I am joined with all my homies, to include below. We have Singe Lotion playing the human monk N.
Hey, how's it going?
We have a swirl of clouds into which has vanished our homie Drevi, who usually plays the dwarven sorcerer Brian. But we have with us Mandomol number 3 playing the dwarven cleric Barnes Steelkin.
Hello.
And we have Fatal Pierce playing the gnome artificer Elam Steel Shape.
Hello.
And reveling in his functional camera, we have our beneficent DM, very gentle and generous and kind, and wouldn't harm a bunny. We have Lolo Man. O2, guiding us through the adventure.
Ah, shit. Wrong company. Alright.
This window.
Alright, guys, let's get started. So, there's been a little bit of a shift last session. Can somebody give me a little bit of a recap?
I can.
Uh-huh.
Mine would be very vague.
Alright, first come, first serve.
So, we jumped off of a city onto a mountain, followed a man who technically I had never met into a cave, fought some spiders, and then ended up not in a cave.
Yes. Stroganoff
It was
took us to meet his
technically,
friend.
it was technically a cave of no return for us.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh.
We met a being named Malduth, who plane shifted us. Also, we might have left our cart behind.
I can't even say anything.
Fortunately, as the flying city of Baldur's Gate crashed into ice, the cart was left behind.
God damn it.
But some future civilization will find it and revel in it. If it survived the crash.
Alright.
But now we find ourselves in Mechanus. But we probably don't know what the place is called.
Indeed. Like above table, you're now in the plane of law, Mechanus. But actually, I'm gonna let everybody make an Arcana check. I think is the most appropriate for this.
My good friend Christopher.
See if
Arcana
anybody
check.
has any knowledge of where you ended up.
13.
Yeah,
I
I
have
know.
a -1 to Arcana, so 0.
-1 in intelligence. Really? You also have an intelligence of 8?
9.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, 0. Barnus does not. Nothing looks familiar here. So that was 13 for Elam,
11.
11, and N.
10.
10. Okay. No, even with 13. This is you're strangers in a strange land. This vast extent of gigantic cogs that seem to they're not currently moving, but they seem to be able to all move each other. And this vista extends to infinity, as you still have some height from where you are. You have no idea where you are.
It appears we're in
it's-
Upper Puglandia.
Yeah, it seems everything is kind of built around these giant cogs with like makeshift bridges kind of linking them together. And the one you are currently on seems a little bit different from its neighbor, as you see the architecture is very mechanical. On the other one, everything looks like it's automated in some way. But on yours, the one you're standing on, it seems that like little houses, not really houses, more like huts, have been built and kind of piled on top of each other. Uh, it's reminiscent of, if you took enough distance with enough perspective, it's a little bit reminiscent of an anthill. And it's the cog you're on is actually pretty busy. There's some small, about 3 feet tall creatures that are skittering around, kind of getting busy, transporting stuff, building, and other activities. And none of them are paying attention to you. They all look like um, a mix between an ant and a centaur. They have humanoid torsos kind of attached to ant-like bodies.
I have a very important question. Are they
Yes.
3 feet flat? Or are they like 3 feet and some inches?
It depends. Most of them are like 3 feet flat, but some of them are a little bit taller.
Those are these fucking short people. I got a good 3 inches on most of them.
Right. In front of you guys, it seems that Mikhail Stroganov has already started getting busy, as he's like kind of kneeling down in front of one of these creatures that seems to be staring at him, and they're just looking into each other's eyes, and there seems to be a conversation going on here that you cannot hear.
Fanny's just sort of spinning around, just looking all around at everything.
Just stare.
I think we did we lose
Did it do it again?
Happy's mic? Yes.
I was hoping it would knock that shit off. I don't know why it's forgetting it's. I think it's the same thing Mondos did, where it just like switched to default, but there's no default.
Fluffy probably made
All
some
right.
like, huge cock jokes.
Anyway, Fanny's looking around, just taking in all the scenery, just.
Wow. You can see so far. What is everything?
Oh! And I'll pull the ring off.
Okay. As you pull the ring off, immediately your body seizes up. It's like, "Yeah." I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Is that taking into account my modifier? I did 13.
13. Okay. As you pull the ring off, and immediately you just lose the ability to move. Like every muscle within you is just tensed up. And you hear in your head this cacophony of violent voices. As
Meows.
there's proclamation of betrayal. It's like,
You take us further. No home. I don't know where we are.
I guess I can only think that if I can't speak. Just.
I don't know where we are. I'm trying. We warned.
Well,
and you all see that Fenny is just cramped up and is not moving an inch.
No move at all. Blinking or anything?
And No blinking,
Like,
nothing. And
wincing,
Fenny,
just-
this paralysis applies to your diaphragm as well.
Oh shit.
There is no breathing happening.
Do we notice there's no breathing?
If you look closer, yes.
Just holding the ring, just
When I notice there's no breathing, I would grab the ring and put it back in his finger.
Okay.
Or attempt to grab the ring. 'Cause I'm sure it's
No,
inside.
there's no. You don't have too much trouble doing that. I need a dexterity saving throw though.
Neat. 9.
9. Okay. As you go to grab the ring, immediately a bony protrusion kind of explodes from Fenny's wrist and kind of
Okay.
impales your hand. But you do manage to eventually grab the ring and kind of extract this from yourself and put it on his finger. And as the ring comes on, the connection stops and you can move again.
Well, did I take damage, by the way?
Yes, you took 4 points of piercing damage.
Thanks. Thank you, Elon. They're really mad.
I told you they were no good.
They don't want to
And-
be here.
And Fenny, now protruding from your wrist, just like this, you have a 5 inches long kind of dart of bone.
Cool.
and he's pretty small, so it's almost like the size of his hand.
I tell you, it's not that cool.
It seems fused with the bones in your wrist.
It stings.
I mean,
Did I
it
hurt
looks
you?
cool. But
It's a little bit. I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, it's them.
Spider friends, if you can hear me, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know where we were going. I thought maybe we could get closer to your home. Mikhail, where are we?
Yes?
What was that?
Are you okay?
No.
What's wrong, little one?
I mean,
kinda
look at his
scared.
hand, bro.
I don't know where we are. What was that?
You do new decoration, yes?
Yeah, I guess.
Man, Mikhail, a cold motherfucker.
I guess so. It hurts a little. But
By the way, can you give back ring now?
no.
No.
No, I
Do
can't.
you need?
I'll
Do you want to die?
I'll probably die.
Definitely die if he takes the ring off.
If you want to keep it, you need to buy.
How much is it?
How much you have?
Oh, God.
I
Really?
tell you. Here, I take you here because I like.
I like you too.
I will make effort. I let you keep ring, but in exchange, I need service.
Okay.
All right. Not now, not here, but later.
Yeah,
I
we
think-
should find like a bedroom or something.
Or like a sleeping bag.
I like where mine is. Mine needs to be elsewhere. Good.
Oh,
Now, I have business. Lots of business doing here. Cannot stay with you. Understand?
Where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do?
Whatever you want. New place? New place, new opportunity.
Well, if we owe you something, I guess that means we'll for sure see you again.
Yes. You, unless you want to stay here forever, meet back here 1 month.
1
A
month.
month. Okay.
Do you know anything about this place?
Yes, very important place. Big boss still alive. One few places where big boss still alive.
Big boss.
Okay, slappy nose, but. Oh. Oh, okay.
Big. Oh. Elam.
Are there
Like your dream.
gods still alive here?
Yes.
One
You
of the
call
ones that
you
didn't
call
turn
God,
into
I
dust.
say boss, it's same thing.
Wait.
Yes,
so
big
that
boy-
means they are. Oh, that means you know that. Oh, so the gods are dead.
Apparently not all of them.
Not
But this
all,
one's not.
most.
Oh, that's neat, I guess.
Which boss is
Also,
here, do you know?
Cooper's cat just did that as like the most perfectly timed meow in terms of like the story. Like Fenny does his thing and then just...
Sorry, yeah, my cat is she's participating today.
That's alright. He's gonna be the party druid.
Well, she is mega preggers, so
Oh,
I
boy.
hope druids can get preggers.
Oh, they can.
Okay, good.
Oh man, if
They
you, if you
don't
wild
usually
shape
do it in
and-
animal form, but it's
Yeah, if you wild shape and breed. Oh my.
right.
Huh.
You're gonna want to be wild shaped when you unbreed, or when.
Unbreed. Yeah.
Unbreed. I'm using that at work from now on.
Listen,
Unbreed.
I saw.
I'm
Did
pretty
you
sure-
unbreed
video where
yet?
that
Pretty
happened
sure
once.
that's a grindcore band.
Actually, I think I saw a video where that happened once.
Oh
The
no.
unbreeding.
Oh
Yes.
wow.
This place, Big Boss still alive. Name Primus. Be careful. Very weird personnel.
Not this. Too much? Oh, it's so bright. So bright.
No,
Yeah.
I've
What
business
is
to do.
Can you point us to a town or something?
Town everywhere. This town, and he points to the pile of huts that's like sky high.
Mikhail? Something inside me was really afraid of that big thing back there. What was that?
Oh, not that normal. It's scary. Big tentacle. Oh, big glowing red eye. Ooh, scary.
Yeah.
Nah, it normal. It not that bad.
You know, it's Malduth. Should we get anything from Malduth while we're here?
Malduth not hidden. It in prime material plane. Not.
I'm...
But in a month we're gonna.
Yes, we go back.
Should we bring anything when we come back?
I paid already. If you want bring more, Malduth appreciate.
All right. So you know, if something pops up that looks nice, I got it.
I want pretty things.
If you find brain, you like.
Okay.
That's. We'll keep our eye out.
I'll keep
With
that
the
in
brain.
mind. Huh.
No, 1 month unavailable. So if need something, tell now.
On my fucking cart back.
I bet we can find a cool cart here.
Lots of stuff around. This brass and copper and all circular things. You make cart.
Yeah, I just start. You know, what, as soon as he says that, I just start looking around for parts. I bet I could make a fucking cart.
So
Who are these people?
Looking around, because you're kind of on the edge of a cog, and looking at the neighboring one, you can
Cog.
see that
Okay.
Yes. And I'm gonna say cog a lot because you're in mechanics,
Yeah.
so please, yeah. I'll give you
Oh.
3. I'll give you 3. Use them wisely.
All right.
All right.
I already used them all up in chat then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the neighboring one, you see like parts out the wazoo, but they're all in use. They're all doing something that you can't really tell what, but they're all mechanically engaged. On the cog you're on, it seems that whoever stacked up those huts kind of took apart whatever was there before, and the place is littered with like spare like plates of brass and like smaller cogs, chains.
So it looks like this one might have had a structure like the neighboring one at one point, but it has been dismantled by these ant people.
It looks like it anyway.
Mikhail, who is your friend? Who are these people? These ants. Oh, these people.
Don't worry much. They know look you, you know look them, or you look or you talk, you try. Small one don't speak. Bigger one speak.
Okay.
Name F something. No remember.
F something. Okay.
I look for a bigger one. I look for a larger one.
Okay.
Going about. Hop
You
over
look
to 'em.
you look around at these creatures. Most of the smaller ones are transporting something. Like it seems like they're kind of dragging material, like from everything that's strewn about. That they kind of getting it somewhere. Can't really tell, but it seems that they have what looks like supervisors, I guess, who are a good foot taller than they are and wearing makeshift armor and a spear.
I'll hop up to one of them.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Fanny.
What do you want?
Well, we're new here.
Oh,
What was it?
We're new around here. Is there somewhere for a place, maybe a place to stay?
Stay here.
Right here? Just
It just points at the ground next to you.
Just step over to the ground where he pointed and just sit down.
Here, out of way. And just turns around and goes faster, faster, and just goes back to kind of monitoring the smaller ones.
do you have an inn?
Yes, in this way. This out.
I don't think he understands.
Oh,
We have a place where travelers can sleep.
No travel. Travel illegal.
oh.
Stay.
Mikhail?
Yes. Good conversation. Yes.
And we go back over to Mikhail.
They're a little strange, aren't
He
they?
kind of sucks.
I couldn't help but hear that traveling is illegal.
Yeah, they don't live there.
But we can, right?
Yes.
I don't think I need an insight check for that.
I mean, we can leave without them getting mad at us, right?
Yes. Unless you take things from them, but just
Okay. I'll try.
Does that include the stuff on the ground here?
don't. If it's not on their back, it okay.
Alright, and I just pop some like copper and a chain, like, in the
Yeah,
bag.
just fucking like
Just-
abandoned house. Just copper stripping. Just
Listen, I have
It's valuable,
ideas,
man.
and I need to make some handles, so... You can't put Elam
Sure.
in a place with a bunch of metal sitting around.
and
He's in his
yeah, like
element. He's in his element.
as an artificer, if you have ideas of shit you want to build, just tell me, man.
Spread your legs and fly, baby.
Yeah.
Well, my first point of order is to finish off these daggers, but I'm like looking at some stuff.
Okay.
Looking around, what
But
are
I-
they carrying? What are the small ones carrying?
The small ones, that depends on the one. Like metal plates. Some of them are carrying like what appears to be bags of gravel.
Are they going any? Is that not carrying anything alive?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
They seem to be like one behind the other, like just following each other. It's an entrail, and it seems like they're kind of disappearing behind this pile of huts that's right next to you, and then you can see the entrail pick back up like a good like 20 feet up. They just keep taking it up.
Okay, so it is a central
Mm-hmm.
pillar, central anthill structure. So they're taken back to a central location. Okay. Are they cute?
I'll show you. You know. I'll put it in the group.
Okay. Oh shit.
There they are.
Closed. Open.
What are they, little stingers?
They look like ants. They are not ants.
There we are.
If you made a whole party of them, they'd be anti-heroes.
God damn it.
They're a little cute.
I don't know. Did I give you disadvantage or inspiration?
I like
torn
sexy
now.
monsters. They're okay.
Give him advantage that also has disadvantage, so when he uses it, it just evens it out.
Okay, so your next roll, you roll 4d20. You take the best and the worst, and then you roll them again. I don't know. Okay,
All right.
it's good. You ready? I'm waiting for approval. I leave.
I had another question. I just
Oh, a second.
You remember question? I wait.
Wait. So while you're here, are you getting new things to sell?
Yes, first I sell, then buy, and then go.
So you're saying it's within our interest to acquire more money while we're here, just in case you get something cool.
It's your business. You do your business
And then-
like you do your business. I do my business like I do my business.
You have an eye for cool things, and then we drink.
Indeed.
All right, 1 month. Anyone else got any questions for this gentleman here? Who
I'm
sure
still
would
just
never
not
get
sure
it?
what we're looking at here. It's
You
all
look
just
at new. You look at new as opportunity.
Hey,
We could make a name for ourselves and leave in a month.
Do what you want. Trade with ant people. Trade with cog people. Trade with big boss. Do what you want.
Wait, there are living machines here?
Oh yes.
what?
You just son of a bitch, huh, man?
Wow. Hey, Mikhail. Since you know how to travel a lot and go places like this, do you know how to get to the Feywild?
Feywild closer to where we come from. This very far.
Yeah, I heard. I really need to get to the Feywild.
Want me ask? I ask. Want to?
Please.
Okay, 1 month.
Yeah, I just thought of something that might be relevant.
Okay.
You don't have a second one of those rings, do you?
There's a brief moment of confusion on Mikhail's face, something you've never seen. Like, he's always been, like, 100%. And after a while, no, just one.
Oh, yeah, because...
Uh
Yeah. Brian's not here.
oh. We might find ourselves in some trouble.
You don't know. You have no knowledge of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright? You remember question? You had question.
Oh, my question was about if you were gonna get some new stuff that we might be able to buy later. So you answered it.
I buy, I sell. That's his job.
It's a good job.
Everybody good?
No, but it'll do.
Do you have anything in your bag that would make angry spiders happy?
Yes.
Can I see?
Bay spiders?
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
I can talk. Spiders, no problem. I talk spiders. Spiders friends. I was friends with Big Boss Spider.
Can I make a religion check?
Alright. Religion check.
Oh. Yeah, 15.
15. Yeah, I mean,
I know about law.
your mind kind of connects some. You've heard of Loth?
Yeah. I maybe escorted some drow in my
It's-
time.
Yeah. It's not obvious. That's. I mean, you're pretty sure. Like, if you were go for a spider deity, that's pretty much the one that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, yeah, you go to the Underdark too? Well, yeah. I mean, if you go here, I guess you could.
I've been a lot on the dark. Yes.
Well, yeah. What about face spiders? I have.
That different.
They're very
Not
bad.
know that much.
If I take off the ring, I think they're gonna hurt me.
If I've Fey problems, Fey people help. Sometimes not help. At 1 month I ask, you go there. Yes?
Okay, please.
Best I can do.
Okay,
That'd actually be very helpful
okay, yeah. Do you hear that,
and
guys?
scary.
Alright. Be ready, don't miss. You miss, you stay. Good place. Not best.
Right here, right here. 1 month.
Right here.
You gotta look around and see, like, the sky. Does it seem to operate like the material plane? Like, you got the sun.
The
you got-
sky is.
track the time of day. We are in a giant clock, but
There's clouds. Like there's actually pretty dense coverage there. But you can see kind of peering just behind it, almost faded, more giant cogs.
do days and nights work the same way here? Like, we need to make sure that we know when a month is up.
And he kind of throws it into his bag. Takes a bit of paper and starts drawing, apparently.
I didn't know he was an artist.
And then he hands it to you, Elam. And it's sort of a map-ish that he's like crudely drew. And it points at the cog you're at now, as it puts it in the center. And there's an arrow pointing to one much larger cog, like 2 cogs away. I'm gonna say cog a lot. And and he says, when this one click, 1 month.
Oh, they
Okay.
move together?
Yeah, so we can keep time based on the cog's movement.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a mental note to, as we will be spending our time here, to start observing the movements of the cogs, to try and tell time
They're
that way.
very still. At least the larger ones, the ones that are large enough to support buildings and all that kind of stuff. They're pretty fucking still. You see some smaller ones turning underneath them, like wherever you can peer through. Some above are like kind of clicking, and but the larger ones are pretty immobile right now.
Okay.
Okay, right now all I want to do is find a place to sleep and drink some cognac.
Okay, I thought we were going to the elemental plane of cocks. I feel misled. I'm already depressed about the cart.
Yeah. We can only hope.
Don't worry, I'm gonna make us a new cart. Better cart.
I think we have too much luck on a plane full of chickens.
Now, question again. Ready? When I go, I
Again, all
go.
I need.
We'll meet you
Everyone
here
else?
in 1 month. And then we can go to the Feywild.
Good.
So we'll make new friends.
Hell no, it's not
I mean-
good, but I guess we don't really have an option now, do we?
I'm gonna be honest, guys. We can't be any worse off here than we were gonna get eaten by the storm.
He does have a point.
Yourself.
Oh, yeah. There's no storm here, right?
No storm, no.
Well, that's good.
Make an insight check.
I was gonna say insight.
21.
21. Yeah.
But mine.
You believe the part about there not being a storm, but it seems he had something on his mind that made him hesitate to
Well,
say
that's
no.
good that there's no storm. What is here?
Yeah. All places have local problems. Don't worry.
Uh-huh.
Just don't
Like what?
mess. Or mess. You do.
I'm in my rations. I'm just.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Like what?
It not my business.
Is it ours?
If you want.
Not yet.
What is it?
You see place giant cogs. Go click.
Yeah.
Some no go click. It's problem.
Oh.
You're telling me
Like
this
this
place
one?
has a mechanical problem?
Not sure I describe like that. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess that's bad.
Well, yeah, well, if it's meant to click and it doesn't click, that is pretty bad. One time I made this little thing and one of the cogs wouldn't move and it exploded, so.
I don't want to explode.
It, you
Remember,
want to explode or you
1 month.
don't want to?
Okay.
1 month. At this rate, the month is going to be up by the time this conversation is over.
I would not appreciate.
Yeah, that's how you get left behind, guys. Um. Man. I think we'll probably be okay for a month. So. We
Okay?
have options. We will see you 1 month, and we will buy and drink.
Great.
I'll,
Good.
I'll,
You know, you remember. Yes, good. Good commercial spirit.
I'll
Now.
jump at him and just go,
Bye, Mikhail.
and give him a bunny hug.
Oh,
Bye.
Careful
And you
your
just
careful
pet-
your arm,
it
Spike.
kind of pets your head, and it's like when you push too hard on the cat, like.
I'm doing that right now.
Like,
All right. Now I go. Lots business.
Safe.
I always safe. And he kind of fetched something at his back in his package and just flings it, and you see his form start to kind of waver, and almost like a heat mirage is kind of forming in front of him, and then no Mihail.
Did he still? Did he
This
still look?
motherfucker ain't who he
partially
said
drowned?
he is.
No, he, when you came out on the other side, he was looking human again.
Interesting. This man is good at blending in.
Motherfucker got a wabbajack in that bag.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, that motherfucker ain't who he say he is.
Not Mikhail.
He got some darkness.
I've only met for a few hours. He seems to be a lot of trouble.
And I was all
to be
excited to
fair,
see what happened.
He's never said he was in trouble. He
Yeah,
just said
Finny, you do. Finny, while you do like the man, there's a little bit of a doubt in the back of your mind, as because you've encountered, if not directly, the aftermath of what the worship of Lolth used to do. And he's mentioned a
yeah,
little bit of a relation there.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm dealing with something adjacent to it myself
Mhm.
right now. But yeah, in fact, looking around at these ant people,
You know, when people used to worship the big boss spider, they'd get turned into big spiders. I wonder if these people worshipped an ant god.
That is
Is
as
Primus an ant
plausible an
god?
origin story as I've ever heard.
I wonder.
Argue with the logic.
I need a break real quick
okay,
because I've been holding it in and it's gonna pop.
all right, let's let us as a party and above table, let's go find ourselves some reprieve. We will.
It's funny. It's like Mikhail knew and really wanted the conversation over so that we could break.
Let us go have a break real quick. We'll be back very shortly, so have a piss, have a
All
drink, have a
right.
snack, have a fab, whatever you're going to do. We'll be back very shortly, and we'll continue our adventure in Mechanus. See you soon. Oh, hi, we're back. I have snacks.
Welcome back, everybody.
Good berries.
All right.
Okay.
Well, now Mikhail Stroganov has left you to your own devices in this new plane. To describe the scenery in a little bit more detail, you're next to this makeshift handhill that kind of takes the whole giant cog that you're on. There is the closest neighboring cog you can see is all very mechanical in aesthetic, and there seems to be sort of a makeshift bridge that's about 100 feet away from you that kind of leads to it. And you can see all around more distant vistas that are linked with the same type of bridge. And the ant people are still kind of doing their work, not really paying much mind to your presence.
Well, I don't think they'll care if we wander off, but we need to make sure we remember this is, like, center, where we need to be.
Everybody got like a flare or something?
I think you have a firebox.
The lighter.
Oh,
Yeah, you do have a lighter that you bought from Mikhail.
Oh, I gotta remove this razor candle.
thing's fucking cursed. Well, if we set it here, is it gonna stay lit for a month?
No,
Or unstolen?
I would doubt that.
It's got about as much as a normal lighter has. So maybe
Alright, so
maybe a few hours of staying lit.
Alright, that answers that.
I bet if you kept it lit for a while, it'd get real hot, and then it'd burn your finger too.
That would definitely keep people away from it.
Can I look around at the buildings surrounding and see if there's any building that just sort of stands a little higher than the others, like not up to the level of the anthill.
Where you are, every unit hut that makes up this giant anthill is almost exactly the same. And they kind of pile up and up and up. But in the distance, in the closest cog, you can see very different buildings of all shapes and sizes.
The
When
bridge
I
is
look
only
around,
100
do I
feet
see
away.
any trees or wood? Oh, sorry.
I want to go over to the bridge.
Okay.
And at maybe like if there's a post that mounts the bridge or something like that. If there's a
the bridge is pretty vacant. It's kind of bare bones. It's like plates of copper that are kind of riveted to each other, almost haphazardly, which is kind of weird, and it goes on and on for good like 300 feet, like reaching to the other cog.
what I'd like to do.
There are two guards in quotation, two of the taller ant people that are staying like about 4 feet tall, with their spears, kind of guarding the entrance to the bridge.
Yeah. Hop over to them and
Hi, I'm Penny.
Hi.
Hi.
What is your purpose?
Well, in general, I don't know, but
Oh, man.
I'm gonna I want to do something if that's okay.
You have no knowledge of your purpose? A purpose will be assigned.
And kind of turns to the other guard, and the other guard kind of starts heading off into the distance.
Oh, well, I was gonna do something, so I guess that's the purpose.
What is your purpose?
Right now, my purpose is to.
I'll sort of reach my bag and like unfurl the rock feather.
Okay.
I wanna leave this here, and can I leave this here?
And I want to look for something to tie it to so that it's sticking straight up as a landmark of the spot where we should meet later.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
And very cute. Thing for persuasion.
I pat his I pat his head and I give him guidance.
Yay. Oh, I don't have a modifier. 9.
9.
That's with your guidance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
8.
8 and a 1.
He kind of looks at you, attaching the feather, and goes,
Your purpose been accomplished.
Yeah. My
Good.
purpose is to
A new
go...
purpose will be assigned. Remain here.
Oh God.
Excuse me. Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Our purpose is ongoing. We're traveling adventurers. That's what our purpose here is.
kind of sizes you up, looks you up and down.
Yeah, I look straight
Rose.
up at him. He's a foot taller.
This is none of the commonly assigned purposes. Do you have an official derogation?
We're not from around here.
What's that? No.
Kind of. It's a kind of an insectoid face. It doesn't really show much emotion, but there's hesitation behind those globulous eyes. And he goes,
Wait here for confirmation.
and there's a faint whistle that kind of emanates from its throat. It goes,
Should
And you see- you see-
for whatever he's bringing to us.
See in the distance, the one that just left is coming back, and he has with him 2 more kind of guard ants, and
Great.
one that's a lot taller than them, at 6'2",
Oh.
I like the
In-
shorter
in-
one better.
in full plate armor.
Ooh.
Yeah, this
fancy.
is fine.
Hi,
Y'all be ready for some shit.
I'm Fanny.
Fanny,
Good job, buddy.
this is not in the registered nomenclatures. Decline your identity and purpose.
The
Fanny.
tall one is speaking.
Guide.
Who are you guiding? To which destination?
My friends. I guess to an inn. I gotta find one first.
Show me your official documents.
What's that?
Great.
A purpose cannot be confirmed. You will be assigned a purpose.
I reach in my bag. I'm like,
I have a book.
All of the elemental planes, and we travel to the one with fucking Nazi ants. Great.
Oh, you didn't see nothing yet.
Great.
So you hand over a book.
it's, yeah. It's basically it's basically like the equivalent of a 50 Shades, except not shit.
Okay.
A Sunstone or a novel.
The taller ant person sort of takes the book,
Secretary novelization.
Yeah.
opens up the just the cover, closes it, goes,
Remain here. This will be confirmed.
and him and the three guards kind of go away into the distance again, and there's only one guard remaining at the bridge.
Yeah, we're just all builders.
How attached to that book are you?
Well, it was a present.
Well, why don't we just
I did
look
finish reading
past
it.
this guy?
That's right. Yeah. What if we just bolt?
There's 5 of us and 1 of him.
Hold on a
What
second.
if we just
Hey,
walk past?
Hey, you guard guy. What's your name?
My designation is 0241.
0241. Don't you want to see what's in that book? It's really cool.
It's a fun book.
This is not part of my purpose.
Come on, man.
Don't you know
Everybody's
what
purpose
entertainment
to
is?
look at artfully drawn dildos.
You channel the inner Brian and be like, well, you gotta find your own purpose, man. Your purpose is in your hands, dude.
Nonsense.
Yeah,
Purpose is assigned at birth.
Don't you ever want to do anything else?
nah, like gender, you can make your own.
There's no reaction.
Reasonable.
Haven't you ever wanted to dance or sing? Just close your eyes for 10 minutes.
This presents no improvement to the colony.
I don't know. I think individualism would really help the colony out.
I think you're gonna get us arrested.
I will take the suggestion to my superior and starts heading off.
Oh, well, all right.
And now the
Hey,
bridge is unguarded.
Let's book it.
Let's get the fuck out of here. This is whatever's happening right now is a problem for 1 month from now if we leave right now.
Maybe I'll get my
I think
book.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Let's just cross the bridge.
As
Me too, another
you're
book. I'm
as
sorry.
you're debating whether to leave or not, there's a huge in the distance. As you notice, pretty far away, about a mile away, high up in the sky, a huge circular kind of void just opened above one of the cogs, and from it emerges a whole flight of red dragons. They keep just pouring out of this hole in the sky, one after the other, and just fly in a straight line, kind of away from where you are. And it must be 25 of them.
Oh, good.
And
Red dragons, you say?
and it keeps going for a few seconds. They fly extremely fast in a straight line, and then there's another as another void opens in front of them, and they start traversing it. But you see the last one seems to have an injury of some kind, and wings not working properly, and kind of misses the exit portal, and starts diving down. There's a crash. A huge amount of dust is lifted up in the distance. It's miles away, but you can still see all of it. And then both portals just close, and there's silence.
Well,
They left their friend behind. That's mean.
Well, we know where we could go, and we know where we shouldn't go. But I say we get the fuck out of here first. I just start walking across that bridge.
yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Slowly turn
I
towards
don't want to know what those ants will do.
yeah, just slowly turn towards the bridge and
Okay.
Things that they're
Leave.
gonna do. They're gonna take a whole big chunk out of that last guy who just walked away.
Okay. So you get started on the bridge. It's a long ass bridge. It's a good 300 feet of walking, and you're about halfway through
Oh, good.
when you see in front of you another group that has started on the bridge as well, made up of spherical beings that they kind of glitter in the distance, so they seem to be mostly mechanical.
Really?
Well, this is an interesting turn of events.
Imagine
Oh
Imagine Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. made out of brass with no eyelids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm on board, except it'd be cool
Yeah.
if you had an eyelid so it was less creepy.
Motrons.
They're all marching like in step with each other on this brass bridge, kind of heading your way. They all have it seems to be like piers but shortened to kind of fit them because they're not that tall.
How many?
And they're making this clanking sound, kind of stepping on the brass.
This march of theirs. How many of them are there?
They're still 150 feet away because you're halfway towards the bridge and they're just getting started. It seems like a good 20 of them.
Okay. Okay.
Are there
Not a
ledges
great
on this
number
bridge?
of them.
Hmm? There are no real ledges. Like if you wanted to walk off, you could.
So no handrails. Okay.
So we could die if they decided to wreck us with stuff.
And they're marching ever closer, like.
Uh-oh.
I just keep stride towards them, see where they're looking.
Okay, they're looking straight in front of them.
Take out my silk rope and be like,
Here, hold this end. Tie this around your waist.
And now that you're a little bit closer, you notice that behind them, there's about 5 kind of larger entities, and those are not spherical; they're cubes.
mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah, they're cuboids, kind of divided in 2, and in the middle portion, there's 2 eyes, behind like half domes of glass. Kind of looking straight ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my silk rope and like just hand a section of it, like just a portion of it to everyone and be like,
Maybe put this around your waist or something.
All right.
tie it to each other.
Okay.
Let's not get
Yeah,
separated. This
seems
is gonna
like
be
a
a problem.
wise idea.
Yeah.
I think
As they
it's gonna keep
as they
going.
approach, they seem to be like 50 feet away from you now. You see them start to kind of pack up and kind of go like one behind the other, and now they're only taking half the bridge,
Ah,
and they're all kind of condensate on the left side.
Oh,
Oh, they make room for us. Cool.
Oh,
That's
great.
courteous.
Okay.
thanks, man.
It's still good to
I would
say
assume
yes.
we kind of congregate to the other side so that it like we're accommodating them as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you finally kind of get to the same level as them, and they're all looking straight ahead. And if you're about to like pass them all, and one of the cubic ones
Oh no.
kind of stops. The others just keep going, but there's just this one kind of stops,
God.
turns towards your group. In like there's 2 portions to the cube, one lower one and one on top, and and only the top portion kind of turns towards you.
just one. Imagine the
And-
ratchet sound.
Yeah. And you hear from a mouth that seems to be on the lower portion, so not facing you, but the top portion with the eyes is facing you. And it goes.
And with your spirit.
And kind of holds a hand, an open hand towards you guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
Elam, go touch it.
Well, Elam, first of all, is fucking fascinated. Like, he's looking, I was gonna say, he's looking at these things and trying to figure out everything he can as he's walking.
It's
without
entirely
looking.
it's entirely mechanical, but there seems to be some weird organic properties to it. Like the junctions between the top and bottom part almost looks like skin, but you can tell it's not. And the eyes look like eyeballs behind glass.
Oh, this is.
I'll reach in my
They've reached the
my
next
pouch
level.
and I'll put a tiger eye stone into his palm.
Okay. He goes. Just grabs it. The top part just pivots back to original position, and he starts walking again.
Bye. I'm Fanny.
There's no response to that.
Sure.
And you see in the distance, if you look behind now, as they're about to get to the other side of the bridge, some fighting has started between the ant guards that came back and these entities.
How does it go?
Oh,
This
we
will
should have
be
waited.
then.
I'm on Team Robot, guys. That's what I'm gonna call them.
I'm on team walk the fuck away from this.
Just, they,
Oh, they're not friends.
but they're so fascinating.
Look, man, I told you to go touch it.
I was about to, and then he gave it a tiger eye and it left. But it looks like we're headed towards where more of them are. So I say we make friends with these weird fleshy robots.
You don't see any on the other side of the bridge.
But that's not all of them.
As the rest of the party's starting to, well, I guess we're tied at the waist at the moment. I would say, as they're walking away, I'm looking and seeing, like, who's winning?
The fighting, who's winning?
Yeah.
Too early to tell. They just started.
And the ants probably have the numbers.
They come up, you talking
But
shit?
the,
They're just at the shoving portion of the fight so far.
do we get the sense, by the way, that by the time they got to the end there, that the guards were back?
Yeah. I mean, you can't. It's pretty hard to tell them apart, but looks like them.
Well,
I guess
Yeah,
we'll find
this
out
di-
who wins in
Don't
1
hurt my
month's time,
feather.
guys.
There's distant clanging of metal against metal as you keep going on the other side of the bridge. All right. On the other side, the vista that greets you is that of a large city with kind of tall, not trapezoid, but like rectangular buildings, kind of piled up one after the other, and it's very regular. Like every street that you can see is perpendicular to another one. There is no meandering of any kind. It's a grid. It's a fucking grid.
All right.
We'll make this. This is very orderly and specific.
And because there's the edge of the cog, and then a little bit further in the entrance to the city. And as the city begins, there's a bunch of brass plates that are kind of like almost like arranged like street signs, but a lot of them in succession, almost forming a wall. You can pass through it, but it's... And they all have writing on them.
So nothing we can read.
I'm checking that right now. Because I don't think they write in common. No, I don't think anybody can read it. There is one portion of it that you can make out, though, because it's despite the different writing, it seems pretty clear that the first words are first like little portion in the beginning of each plate is a number.
Like distance markers.
Or they go all the way around the cog?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, is this one of the cogs that we think stand still?
They're all standing still right now.
Oh, so we don't have.
The larger ones are standing still.
Okay.
The ones that actually support cities, they're standing still.
That makes sense.
Can I... Looking at... I guess it would just be up to me.
I think these are like days. I think it's like a big calendar.
That's why I was thinking like a clock or a calendar.
If it turns in a month, maybe these are like the days.
I look at the little map that Stroganoff gave me,
Yeah.
and I show it to Benny. And see, this is... He said when this points to there, that'll be a month, so that's like... I guess we kind of have a reference
No, he
point there.
pointed, like, he drew an arrow to one
Yeah.
of the cogs,
Yeah.
and he said that when this one ticks, it will have been a month.
Oh. So do I see that one like direction-wise where we're at? Can I keep that in like mind?
Yeah, you could. I mean, you can't see it from here, but you know, like, given
Around where it
what,
is.
yeah, you know around where it is, or which direction it is. It's well, if you had any like cardinal directions, it would be north.
I kind of point that
Like,
as like,
relative to the drawing.
we should probably like stick close to around there so we know when stuff's happening. So we can return.
Are you guys going into the city? Because you're still
Yeah.
at the edge right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try
Yep.
and find an inn. Can I smell for food?
Yep.
You don't smell food.
Hmm.
You there's a tang in the air because everything kind of smells metallic.
This place smells good.
Hang in the air, and other parts of the knife too.
As you
Smells like
as you
copper
kind of
blood.
as you kind of engaged into the city, the streets are relatively wide. So how are you kind of arranging yourselves?
Take the rope back. Right back. I tend to be in front, scouting around.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah,
the
I'll be
end.
up front too, looking around.
Okay.
Be around where Finny is.
Be
Just
Around
kinda
the
like lay it on
middle-ish of the pack. Sort of
Okay.
again looking around and getting a lay of the land.
Yeah, kind of all kind of splitting, kind of looking around at everything.
And
I mean,
figure
staying in the
what
group, kind of-
anything is.
Okay.
If there's any signs over anything that might give me some clue as to what things mean on the signs.
And is there anyone in the streets?
It's deserted,
Empty, yeah.
completely
What
empty.
about in?
Not
What
for
do
long.
the like buildings look like? Like, is there any like? Do we get
So
any
the
sense
building-
of what they are?
Buildings from a distance, they would look like just a tall house. But looking at it closer, you notice that what looked from a distance like windows is actually just an external light. Like there's nothing behind it. It's solid wall with some like a light plate, kind of lights up the street.
Uh-huh.
In the spirit of the place, as I'm walking, I'm gonna make sure to start walking on a rhythm and count them. So I'm basically
Okay.
keeping time. Because I think something's gonna happen.
Yeah, as
being a
something
clock.
does happen, as you guys keep walking forward into one of those streets, there's a clank that you can hear, all of you to your left,
Ah.
and you see
It's not there.
I would like to get out of the street.
Square on one of the buildings, a square trapdoor just flops open, and one of those spherical beings just starts waddling out of it and kind of heads towards your group.
Oh.
Yeah. And goes,
What do you guys say? You want to meet a local?
Hi,
open hand towards you.
I'm Penny.
I think he wants $1.
Well, I had a thing. Hold on. I will reach into my bag, pull out a flask of oil, and hand it to him.
Kind of looks. He kind of turns his head to look. There's no movement in the eye. Like it's behind a dome of glass. There's no eyelid, and it doesn't go left right. It's just the whole head kind of turns. And he looks at it and goes, puts it back on the ground and just pulls his hand out again.
That was a gift you had.
Is that $1?
I'll pick up the oil.
Mm-hmm.
I will take out 1 silver, and I will hand it to him.
Okay. Looks at it.
And then I will
Pulls his.
hold my hand out.
Okay. He kind of looks at your hand. Looks at you. Looks at the rest of the group. And starts. He moves from you, Elam. Starts walking towards Fenny. Goes, you just high five him.
Hi, I'm Fanny.
Flip me some skin.
So you just touch his hand.
Silver.
You put in silver.
Yeah.
Silver in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Starts waddling over to N.
I'm gonna give him one of my rib cages.
My God.
I don't have any money. Here's a rib cage.
Puts it on the floor. Looks back up at you. Goes,
Man, all right, I'll give him the lighter. Just go away from me, wisdom cube.
Oh.
looks at the lighter. Puts it on the floor. Turns around. Starts waddling back to the building he came from. Presses into one of the metal plates that make up the building and kind of pushes it in. And 3 more square trapdoors kind of open.
Oh fuck.
Like we should leave.
Three more spherical beings starts waddling towards N.
No.
And all four of them go like this.
Oh.
I got some dried skin flakes. You want some dried skin flakes? I'll start like scratching my head.
Oh, God. I like gold.
Look, man, I don't have any gold. You want to give me one of yours?
I lean down and I look at one of the robots. Or probably just look over at one of the robots. I'm actually not tall, I forgot. and I just say in common and then in Gnomish, can you speak?
The one you're talking to kind of spins around. With his legs not moving, but the spherical part of his body goes.
I don't understand your language. I don't understand your language.
Uh,
I ain't got no money.
Make-
These things are gonna kill me.
Make me an Arcana check.
I'll reach into my pouch and I'll say,
Here.
and I'll hand N 4 silver.
Oh hell yeah! All right.
15 Arcana.
Okay, you just put 1 silver into each of their hands.
Yes, yes, I am handing Fanny silver to the wisdom cubes. Just go away.
Okay, as you do so, they just all kind of turn back and are about to kind of head back into the building they came from. What was your kind of check?
15.
15. Okay, there's it's not a language that you've ever heard or ever even read about, but there's a rhythm to it. There's kind of a consistency, and you're able to make out it's like series of clicks and whirls. One of them seems like an affirmative, and the other a negative. You were able kind of to make out yes and no.
It's like the Sligs from Oddworld, from Abe's Odyssey. Like,
A little bit, yeah.
Oh man, I don't have this spell. Okay. So I got a yes and a no. So then I say it in common. So you can understand when I speak like this.
You get the sense of yes.
Are you asking for money?
And he goes, you get the affirmative again, but there's more behind it.
pick him up.
Money or metal? Metal?
You're really neat.
It's
I'll put it back down.
maybe a strength check. It's not light.
Yeah, okay. Like I try to pick him up like a baby. Oh yeah, so I try to pick him up like a baby. I'm like,
You're cool.
3.
Yeah, feels like a sphere of solid brass. It's not.
Oh, you're really heavy.
Rude.
And then the
Start
three of
touching
them
it.
have already headed back into the building, and the trapdoors have closed behind them. And the one you're petting is going.
Kneel next to him and just start poking out all like the little screws and bolts and whatever. Just
And as time goes on, because it's being interacted with and it's not interrupting, but as time goes on, you feel almost like a tremble, like a need to, almost like when you hold a cat for too long.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Man, put him down. He's gonna like eat you or something.
And he starts to hurry towards the building. It's almost running, as much as this weird mechanical tiny legs can make him run. And before he can get to it, the trapdoor kind of closes in front of him,
Oh no.
and he goes. And another one opens, a bigger trapdoor, and one of those cubic kind of entities comes out. Turns the top portion of himself towards the smaller one, the spherical one, goes, and stabs him. And
Good thing you didn't name him.
Another there's a little bit of a flash of light as it kind of disintegrates. It kind of just almost removed from existence. You see the trapdoor that he wanted to go through disappears, and another one kind of materialized next to it. And then the cubic entity just looks at you guys, still not moving the bottom portion, just turns around and goes back into his trapdoor.
I don't think we should lift them up anymore.
And there's one thing you noticed is that on the rightmost, the one that was right most to the right of the road, which is Barnes, did not get approached by one of those creatures.
Well,
We're walking on the
Oh,
wrong
my
side of the
God.
road. Those were, like cops, I guess.
We were. Oh my god.
We got ticketed.
Oh my god. These
You
little
got
fuckers.
ticketed.
These little fuckers. I
It
have
would be the longest month of my life.
Apparently, they don't take oil bribes.
they don't fucking take rib cages neither.
I also moved to the right of the road. I moved, around where Barnes is.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no cop gonna get me twice. Also, when I'm looking around, and especially when I'm looking at the people, or the robot folk, the metal that they're made out of, or that the city is made out of, does it look similar to the scraps that were on the ground?
It looks like yes, and it looks like it's a whole bunch of different metals. Most of them still in the same tones, kind of brassy, coppery. Some of it even gold-like. So are you guys keep going
Yeah.
along this street, walking on the right side?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the scenery, while the height of the buildings is kind of variable, the shape of them is exactly the same for every single one. It's the same length and same width. And it looks, yeah.
Do they have doors?
You know those things filled with pins that you put your hand through and
Yes.
makes your hand appear?
The pinhead, I have
It's,
one.
it's like that. It's like that.
Yes, your hand you put in there.
All right, I'm not judging.
I am. That's weird. I'm kidding.
But as you keep progressing, eventually, one building stands out and sticks out like a sore thumb. It looks like a fancy inn, like a tavern of some description.
Oh.
And it's quite pretty with a kind of a tiled roof, and it's smaller than the other buildings. There's balconies in front of windows, and you do notice that the windows are decorated with flowers. But those flowers look strange, as they have a crystalline look to them,
Does it-
kind of an opalescent kind of light going on. And there's an ensign in front of the building with the name the Opal Garden.
Is it in common?
Yeah. Can
It's
we
in
read
common.
that?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna head towards that. Staying on the right side of the street, and I'm going to ignore Slappy's knowledge of what the.
Oh, good. I'm in.
Guys, I think we found what's probably a very nice place to stay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it looks pretty. It doesn't look like it belongs
Really
here.
be sure anymore.
Yeah, it is
But it's-
completely out of place. There's even there's a
The most familiar thing in this world so far.
yeah, there's even at the bottom of it, like 3 or 4 inches away from the building, there's grass growing. Like it looks like it's been like cut out of someplace and just put there.
Touch it. Touch the grass.
It feels like real grass.
That's nice.
The closer we get, the more I want to kind of like, I don't know if it's perception or investigation, just to see if I can tell if this place is in fact anywhere near safe to enter.
Sure, make me an investigation check.
Bloody die it is. Okay, that's going to dice jail. 7.
Okay, as far as you can tell, there's nothing. There's no obvious traps. No, because you're used to seeing like
Alright.
triggers and activation mechanisms. You don't recognize any of that there. It looks like a normal door, walls, and windows. There's no evidence of traps, mechanical anyway.
When I look in the window, do I see any robot cops?
No, in the window you see a dimly, not too dimly, but not too bright either, like lit kind of tavern interior with tables and a few people having dinner.
The fuck is this?
Thoughts?
The other buildings, do they have accessible doors?
The other buildings, all you can see in terms of openings, because now you can recognize them because they looked pretty indistinct from the rest of the wall, but now you can recognize the trapdoors. But there's no conventional way of ingress that you can see.
Yeah.
This is weird. It's pretty. They can't go in anywhere else.
And as you all get closer, you notice a faint kind of chime sounds kind of emanating from the crystalline flowers.
How strange that you asked for something like this and it showed up. And it's so out of place. The only thing I can think of that would be more out of place here would be like a brothel.
Look around. Did a brothel appear?
You knew exactly what I was going for.
Stroganoff just wished our asses into the cornfield.
No, there is no brothel that appears.
Not a separate one.
Worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Guess we gotta fuck robots the old-fashioned way. One giant cog at a time. I head towards the door. I don't know better now.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be the thing to do.
Yeah, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen?
It's a wooden door. There's no window on it. There's no glass on there. It's well built. It's nicely decorated. What are you doing?
Going inside.
I'm smelling one of the flowers.
Okay, there's
I'm
no.
listening for any speech, any talking.
Okay, so you just with your ear against the door.
Oh no, while we walk in. Sorry.
Oh, as you walk in. Okay, so I'm taking everything that's happening. Fanny, you smell one of those crystalline flowers. Doesn't seem to be any smell emanating from it, but as you get your ear closer, you can distinctly hear this little melodic chimes kind of coming from it. Pretty pretty.
I think we could just sleep.
But alright.
And I'll follow.
Okay. Going in as you open the door, there's a little cling as a bell is being pushed. The entrance. And there's some heads from inside kind of turn your direction and then go back to their place. And you hear footsteps coming downstairs that you can see in the back of the room. As very well dressed, what appears to be a human man, kind of comes down. He's got what appears to be like a black suit with purple outlines. And he says, "Ah, been waiting for you. Welcome. How can I help?
Hi,
You're far from home."
I'm Penny. Yeah.
"Hello, Fanny."
How do you know that? Well, I guess it's obvious.
"Yes. You don't quite fit the local decor. Let me introduce myself. I am Bridebar. I'm the owner of this humble establishment."
Hi, Brightabar.
"Hi. Now how can I help? Surely you could use some assistance on your travels. Yeah? We have food, rooms that you could use."
How much would it be for a room in Sneaks?
"Well, as my usual price go, there's no need for monetary compensation. I simply require a story."
There's no need for monetary compensation.
Oh, I've been here
What
before.
was the man from Nantucket?
Well, young one, if that's the type of story you wish to tell, I
I
have no
already.
objection.
Oh, man.
Benny, where's your book, man?
They took it.
Oh.
Ooh. I sit him down and I just tell him the tale of what happened. Basically, everything that's happened since we showed up at Baldur's Gate.
Mm,
As a story. I
impressive.
paint us in a slightly better light than we were, but
Uh-huh.
pretty much truthful other than that.
Make a deception check.
And it ends with, and they started out anew in a different plane of existence.
Either deception or performance.
Oh, boy. Is it because I lied about some stuff?
That's probably gonna eat your soul now.
18, and I'll do it as a
18.
performance, because 18, yeah, is a performance, because I was trying to not lie, but
Embellish.
yeah, more embellished than lie.
Well, that is quite the story. I believe that will be more than enough for a room for each of you and dinner.
Thank you.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
This place, does it always present as this?
Come again?
Does it always present as this, depending on who enters or who asks for it?
Well, it appears, despite certain events, that I have my preferences, and this is how this place usually manifests. Yeah.
But it does manifest.
It is there for weary travelers, and I must say I have a special interest for your little group here.
Insight.
Sure. Roll insight.
22.
22. He's not lying. He has genuine interest in your group.
Fucking strange.
You don't notice any kind of nefarious intent behind the word.
Okay. And when he
Ask
says
me
that will be
to know
enough,
what your interest is?
does it seem like it will really be enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll be enough for now.
Does he have like a black mustache he twirls or anything?
That's you!
You see,
Mine's plum colored.
you see, my
Oh, my bad. My bad.
dear,
I'm sorry.
my dear friends, I am presented here with an opportunity. Something that so very rarely happens.
Oh, God.
You have, how should I put it? Strayed, perhaps, from a path that seemed almost destined. So I started wondering, how much variance could this opportunity present? In this spirit, I wish to offer my help. Because I'm sure that your path will be restored in some form, but until then, allow me to assist.
Honestly, that's more honesty than I was expecting, so thank you.
Oh, okay. Were we not supposed to
This
leave?
is all new territory. I am excited beyond measure. Allow me.
This motherfucker's gonna say thank you kindly, and I'm gonna fucking bolt.
He kind of
Alright.
flicks his wrist and in one motion produces a it looks like a small vial and kind of gestures it towards Elam. Come on.
Is this where I'm supposed to deposit my story?
Oh, you've already paid in full. This is for you.
Oh, God.
As a gesture.
I take it and I examine it. And I remind you that my hand is beloved.
There's a in the glass vial that seemed to be capped with a glass as well. There's a kind of almost translucent pale blue liquid, and holding the vial in your hand, you feel almost like a low vibration.
What is this?
God damn.
This is the most help I can provide, unfortunately, but it is quite something.
I definitely feel that there's something to it. Do any of us notice and just like running?
He ain't said it yet. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for that shoe.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you said you just ran.
No, she said that as soon as he says thank you kindly, she's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Fuck this.
We've made worse deals.
I
I show it to Barnabas. I feel it like vibrating. Is it magic, do you think?
Let's. Do I have. Oh. That's not ideal. I don't have any sort of detect magic or anything.
Okay.
Artificer doesn't have
No, I mean it like you're still familiar with a little bit of magic. If you've got spellcasting ability, you would know this is magic because it's pulsing.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Just no idea what kind.
Inspecting it closely. Hello, kitty.
Kitty.
You could make
A wild shape.
an arcana. You could make an arcana check.
I'll do an Arcana check on it.
That's a sweet bab.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, 23.
23. Nice. What can I give you with 23? Alright, you know for certain it is magic, and that type of vibration, that intensity, it is strong magic. It is potent. And you're not certain, but you think it might be divination magic.
I tuck it away in one of my safety pouches.
Alright.
Can I look around the?
Now.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
let's see who else is in the tavern.
Okay. There's a few patrons in there. There's a couple eating like face to face on a smaller table, and there's a group of 4 in the back. The couple is an half-elf and a human woman, and the group look like adventurers of some description. There looks to be like kind of rough and tough looking, strong Goliath sat with like big two-handed sword on his back. And there's a thinner kind of man in a cloak, looking grim, and 2 members of some kind of clergy that you don't really recognize.
Take note of them while continuing the conversation with Bradavar.
Hmm?
Um,
Well now, my establishment is at your service. Should we require a place to sleep? Please. And we have more food than you can ask for.
I was going to ask if we knew where our rooms would be if we decided to stay.
Oh, yes. As I said, this is a very special occasion. I've taken the liberty of arranging something to your satisfaction.
Do you have raspberry tarts?
Yes.
That you were a raspberry tart.
No, I'm a boy.
Well, now, please have a seat. I will
Really gonna-
take your order and bring you whatever you desire.
I'd like a heel of bread.
That can be provided.
I'll go.
Bye.
I guess
A
sit at the
raspberry
table next
tart
to the
for-
adventurers,
Mm-hmm.
and in a chair.
Okay, we'll get back to that. Are you guys? Is it everybody ordering something? Because he hasn't given you a menu. He's just saying what you want.
Honestly, let me check something real quick just before I open my mouth.
Can I
Okay.
can I have some breaded fish and some cucumbers and carrots and broccoli and then some
Of
raspberry
course.
tarts.
All right. Do you want your dessert brought after you're finished with your meal?
I can be good. Yeah.
All right.
I think at
I
least
will
for this
make it.
first
I
night,
will endeavor to make it so.
Thanks.
for this first night, I don't think Elon would order any food. I think he'd just eat like one of his rations for tonight
Sure.
and drink water that he brought with him.
What about Barnes? Sir, could I provide you with anything?
I'd like some meat and some smoked cheese.
That can be arranged. Now,
Friend.
I will fetch your order. Please make yourselves comfortable. And it starts to back away. And Fenny, having sat like right next to the group of adventurers and kind of picking your ear, they're kind of recounting the slaying of goblins and just almost stereotypical like beginner adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
But you do like something piques your interest is that one of them says, one of the clerics goes, "Yeah, we were lucky that place was there. Like, I mean, who builds an inn middle of a cursed swamp?"
Yeah. It's almost like somebody wants to, do I hear that?
Fenny heard it because he was paying attention.
We're gonna fucking die.
No, you don't know that.
So Fenny just
Hi. I'm Fanny.
Oh, hello. Hello. Hi.
You came from the swamp? What swamp?
Oh. I mean, didn't you?
No. We're in a clock.
I see.
Yeah.
Magic in this place. Yeah, I mean, magic or not, it's safer here. And so, where did you say you came from?
A big clock.
And the one in the cloak kind of pulls it back, and you see kind of cute girl underneath, half elven, kind of looks at you. I've never seen anything like you.
I'm just Fanny.
Oh, I see.
I haven't either.
Well,
but not
just
for a long
Fanny,
time.
I'm Elandra.
Elandra. Hi.
Where'd you come from, just Fanny?
Well, I think our friend said the prime material plane. But we're somewhere else now. We didn't.
Hey.
Did you find this place in the swamp, you said?
Yeah, we did.
Well, we found it somewhere else.
I see.
In a
Well,
clock.
What about your friends? Came from the same place you did?
Yeah. We were all together.
Hi. Kind of
Hello.
waves at all of you.
How did it sit next to me?
Yeah, right.
I'm she's kind of hesitating. I'm
Turn the chair around.
Elandra. This is Bartog. This is Dre, and this is, well, me. What? How do you do?
We're good, I think.
A little confused, but good.
Yes, I've
As we
gathered.
can be.
Oh, shit.
Were you fleeing from something?
Not really.
Sort of. We were
I see,
headed
'cause
towards
when-
something in a big city.
When we came in here, we were guaranteed that we would be safe, but we had a hag after us, and it doesn't seem to have been followed here.
Oh, good. They're terrible.
And that they are.
They're good for like 13 years.
We've been here a couple days. We plan on going back out soon. But
What did they ask you to pay to stay here?
that was strange. We were asked to tell a story.
Yeah, us too.
Dude,
Did you each have to tell a story or just one?
Each of us had to tell one. Yeah.
Oh. He just told the one.
yeah.
It was a good
I see.
story, though.
Well, he's
Yeah, what were
a
your stories?
pretty strange person, but quite nice. And he's been feeding us whatever we ask.
Do you like raspberry?
It was very.
Yeah.
We can be friends.
Sure. Well, we're on a quest. You see, there's in this swamp we were at a young girl. Well, not that young. She was pregnant and she was kidnapped by this evil hag, and we managed to free her and send her home. But the hag was after us, so we had to flee here. Would you like to help us? Perhaps all of us combined we could defeat her.
Maybe.
I mean,
No,
if we can. Oh my god, I just thought of something.
well, if you came from a swamp and we came from the city, what happens when we leave this door?
That's what I
Well-
was wondering. I was also wondering if time works the same in here as it does out there.
Are there windows?
Yes.
Can you look out?
Yeah, looking out, you see the vista that you just left. It's still Mechanis, still the.
Yeah, look, there's a city
City.
outside.
Oh, yeah, Highlander, what do you see outside the windows?
I'm sorry, but it's clearly the swamp. It's still all there.
Wow. Maybe it's like. Maybe it's like the Strahd, where he's in a lot of places at once. Maybe the Strahd's here.
Who's the Strahd?
He's kind of scary, but that's kind of exciting.
I see.
Pretty sure he's a vampire.
He's a vampire.
Ooh,
He's
I
really
wouldn't-
strong. But he's kind of nice.
I've,
But he's really scary.
we've had a brush with. I wouldn't recommend frequenting vampires.
He's really pretty.
He seemed as nice as a vampire could be. He actually saved a whole bunch of people's lives.
Yeah.
Oh,
At no cost to himself. Well, I mean, at no gain to himself.
A girl
I
did
see.
have to, bleed a lot to call him.
Yeah.
But we saved
that
her, so
doesn't
she was
sound very
okay.
good.
But she'd clearly done it before, so.
And you see as you're talking to her at the table behind. Make me a perception check, everybody.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh,
Perception.
6.
Oh, fuck.
5.
9.
6, 5. Fenny? 11. Fenny? 9. Okay, there's
Damn, my passive is 16,
Got it.
but
a roll for it.
still
But
9.
you roll that. Okay, so Fenny and Barnes,
Oh.
you notice that behind her, on the other side of their table, the cleric-looking dwarf. Did I? Sure, dwarf. Is kind of chanting to himself under his beard, and appears to be casting a spell.
That
As
One
the
of the
chat
machines
as to
would-
what spell it would be.
If you want to recognize the spell, I need Arcana.
I perceived it. It may as well. Because there's a little bit of magic.
Well,
in there,
actually,
though, but it's
actually,
fine.
religion.
Religion?
it's
Slightly
a-
better. That's a dirty 20.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay.
Thanks, Seven.
Yeah, you recognize detect good and evil.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I think I wanted to do something to my character sheet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've had chaotic neutral on Finishi for a long time, but I don't think he is. I think he's chaotic good.
All right. As
So I'd probably see good.
yeah, as you notice the spell being cast, and the cleric is starting to look everybody over, and at that moment, Brighterbar comes back, kind of effortlessly with platters of food, and kind of glides them on the table in front of you, except for Elam, who didn't order anything.
When he comes back, I just I have another question.
Yes, of course.
It's clear that this place exists multiple places at once. Is time outside working the same as it is in here?
What would be more beneficial for you?
Fucking hell. I ain't eating this bread.
Probably if it did, because we have to be somewhere in 1 month. Unless we just want to fucking leave tomorrow.
Would you like 1 month to have passed when you exit?
Oh my god. Do we have to decide this minute?
Of course not.
Thank you.
That
My story, did it get us all rooms, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
All of you will be provided appropriate arrangements.
it would be really good.
Now enjoy your food. Should you need anything else, please call for me. And as he's kind of turning back, you look back to the cleric, and he's staring at Brighterbar with, like, looking like this. Like, kind of unsure of what to make of it.
This guy's probably just like going back and forth.
Is he like out of the room now?
Yes.
I'm going to cast Purify Food and Drink
Okay.
before I eat anything.
Man, that's
Let me
Really
read
awesome
the
to get to use
spell
that.
real quick.
boy, do I hope it works in this case.
I don't know the spell by heart. Non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius. Sure that it is purified and rendered free of poison and disease. Okay. Right, you cast it.
Doesn't say anything about curses.
Yeah,
Nothing
I ain't
does.
eating this.
And it's also it's all non-magical food.
Yeah.
That may or may not be relevant. All right.
But
You
Maybe
satisfied that
you're
you've cast
not
your spell effectively. What was it?
Just gonna try just a little bit of it.
Guess we can play that.
See if anything tastes off or weird.
I'm starting with the problem.
It tastes good. It tastes like exactly what you were hoping for when you ordered it.
So my vegetables came with dressing.
I can't hear you, Penny.
I'm just gonna go ahead and call this the Farpoint Station.
What was it? What was it, Fanny?
Starting with the broccoli. I'm dipping it in the dressing it came with.
Yeah, it is good.
It's good.
Pretty much it, like the taste you had in your mind when you were thinking about it and ordering it. That's exactly what's in your mouth.
I think he's a food wizard.
That isn't a thing. Is that a thing?
Try it.
I'm not.
How's
No,
your
Red.
bread?
You have your bread in front of you.
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
You're gonna insult him by not eating the food he brought you.
You know what? He can get bent. I feel like it's gonna be worse if I eat the food as opposed to just insulting the motherfucker. I saw what that guy over there looked at him like. I saw that.
Yeah, are you okay?
I'll say to the cleric.
Yeah, yes.
Is it gas?
Uh,
Did you eat something bad? Should we eat this?
looks delicious.
It is.
And
Is
he
there
kind of turns-
anything strange you've noticed since you've gotten here?
Well, an inn in the middle of a swamp, for example. That's a new one to us.
Yeah, but an inn that's also not. In the
And
middle
that
of a swamp.
protected us from a hag. That's also not common. And just now, and kind of hesitates. I don't know, I have this strange feeling about the ordinary. I think we should. Turns to his barbarian friend. Oh, I like the food here. And Alondra kind of turns around. I mean, it's about time anyway. Well, I guess we should. Guess we will resume our journey.
Should we resume ours as well?
Did you need help?
Well, if you're offering, we would appreciate it. But
We're
I
strong.
don't know if you'll exit the same place we will. It doesn't seem that. Seems that there's some discrepancy here.
Let's walk you out and find out.
All right.
If we held hands at the door, surely if we were touching each other as we left.
You're fighting a hag, right?
Yes.
Before we try to exit with them, I'm gonna rifle through my bag, grab one of our regular potions of healing, and I'm gonna hand it to Alondra. Just in case we don't make it, this will help.
That's very nice of you.
Oh,
I'll cast Goodberry.
here,
Oh.
take these too. They're really mean and
She
dangerous.
kind
They should help too.
reaches to her side and pulls out a bag of holding and just dips in
There you
the
go.
potion and kind of holds it open for the berries. That's very, very much appreciated. Well,
Hey, we're bag buddies.
oh, very nice.
Uh,
Let's give it a try. And they kind of get off their seats
I'll hold her
and
hand.
head towards the exit. You holding hand with Andra?
Mhm.
Okay. Who's going through?
I'll try it as well.
hell no.
As Fenny and Alendra are kind of leading the march, you see next to you Barnus, the barbarian-looking Goliath, kind of holds his hand towards you.
Just stick my hand in his and
Big old.
Yeah, and it's just whole hand, and he has a big smile on his face. He's like, and
I'll grab his other hand.
okay. And you're coming with?
Hell no.
Okay.
You're gonna stay here with Bridal Bart or whatever his name is?
Look, man. I don't know what's gonna happen to y'all when you go over there, but good luck.
You're gonna get real hungry
Right.
if you won't eat his bread.
As you all pass the threshold hand in hand with the party member of this other group, I need one of you to roll me a d100.
I got you.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I have the world's most cursed dice here. If you want the most interesting,
I always roll them like digitally because
40.
40. Okay.
you turn into a
You
monster.
you exit into the streets of this city in Mechanus that you recognize. The scenery has not changed, and almost immediately you feel a void in your hand, as they have not exited in the same place.
I run back into the place.
They left.
Still
Oh,
there?
hey,
Yeah.
welcome back.
Look, we're still alive.
We're good. They left.
All right, cool.
Kinda glad I gave them
Right.
help because a hag is no.
After 5 seconds, the door opens once again behind you, and Alondra is there, going, I guess it doesn't work.
Oh, you're back.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
there.
Is your hag still there?
No, I guess she's gone back to her lair. We're gonna find some reinforcement and go back to hunting her.
That's good.
Good luck.
All right, you be careful.
Okay, we'll be here for, I guess, a little while. If you come back.
Oh,
You said you
okay.
stayed here for
Good
a couple
luck.
of days?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Well, you seem relatively okay.
nothing
We're
bad
fine.
happened while you were here.
No. No,
Okay.
no.
Like, your soul's fine?
I, that's a weird question. I don't know.
As a figure of
Wink, wink.
speech, I guess.
I wonder how far they are from the Feywild.
Yeah.
All right.
Could have left your
Well,
spiders with them.
You all be careful,
I can't
and
take something off.
maybe we'll see each other again.
Bye.
I hope
I'll
so.
wave him. I'll notice my spike.
Yeah.
Bye.
Cool.
All right.
Or,
She closes the door behind her, and she's not visible on the other side, even when you look
She was
out
really
out the
pretty.
window. All right.
I hope I see her again.
On that note, we're gonna take a second break.
All right.
Yay!
In this completely innocuous and friendly and welcoming inn, we will go ahead and take a little breather here and relax and eat our raspberry tarts. And
Yeah.
come back shortly. So grab a drink, grab a snack, grab a fat, whatever you gotta do, and come back here to see a completely uneventful and peaceful night. See you soon.
That's racist, I think. Is that racist?
Welcome
I
back.
think.
Is that,
Welcome back.
Welcome back. That's racist.
I'm sorry. Are the
Alright.
robots gonna?
Check out my cool
The
electric
group
kettle.
of adventurers that was keeping you company has now exited this Opal Garden Inn that
I hope
you're
they do
now
alright.
staying at.
Oh, nice.
And you're at your table with your food. It's quite enjoyable for those who are eating.
I mean, they lived.
yeah, go for it, buddy.
Well, how do you know? They just left. Oh, you mean here? Yeah. I hope they live through the hag too. They're nice.
We gave them some help.
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of want to. If he can do it. Unless. I want to leave.
Do you think we should just have him have like 1 month be up tomorrow?
My kettle is loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a month can pass, then my friends inside me won't feel like they're so far from home for a month.
Probably be best
They'll
for
just feel like
Connie.
it's for a night. Or a couple nights, or however long we stay. I don't. This place is kind of cool, but also kind of sucks.
There's something about it, I just can't put my finger on it. The food is good, it's comfortable. But why is it here?
Oh, I mean the clock. This place is nice. But
Oh, that place is uncomfortable.
yeah,
I don't understand it.
and they punish us for stuff we don't know. It's not
I
fair.
understand.
It's confusing. It's hard to navigate.
We know that
And
we have to
I
stay
assume
the night.
outside of these walls, there's no food. Unless we want to
Yeah,
kill
I
one of
couldn't
those
find anything.
ant creatures and try to eat that, but that seems a little weird and a little uncomfortable.
And
Also, that one
These are
died and he
probably
like
against
he
the
turned
law.
he just disappeared. So I don't know
Yeah.
if we could even eat that.
the other cop killed killed the one cop. I didn't like that.
Yeah, he did just kind of fucking, just smoke that guy.
Yeah. Cause he was late. They're really strict here.
You really kind of are. I don't like it.
So are we
I've
leaving?
played where they're strict with the rules, but nobody was ever killed for breaking them.
You're not usually.
I think that crosses a line for me.
I think we're on agreement that we should ask that tomorrow be a month from now so we can leave.
Wait.
A little less than a month, so that we have time to get back to where we were.
I would agree with that.
Also, a dragon fell down. So if there's a dragon running around for a month, maybe that wouldn't be bad.
They probably fucking arrested him.
I'm gonna be honest, that one dragon that fell down seems a lot less worrisome than the hundreds of other ones that just flew away.
They're gone though.
They are not here, which is
Not really our problem.
critically, they aren't in our vicinity.
I feel bad for wherever they're going though. Red dragons, I hear they're really bad.
Can you eat dragon meat?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, I haven't tried it, but I usually like vegetables and fruit. But some meat's okay. I like fish.
After a little while, Brightobar comes back down the stairs.
Oh boy.
Kind of inquires.
Hi, Bridal.
I hope everything is to your satisfaction.
It's really good.
Is there anything I can do for you? Your rooms are ready.
Thanks.
Wouldn't happen to have like a. No, never mind.
I think you'll find your room to your satisfaction.
That's. Yeah, buddy.
So the rooms manifest to what we need?
Need, want, sometimes both.
Sleeping the fuck outside.
If I wanted, like, a balcony with a forge on it. And an anvil.
That could be accommodated.
Oh my god.
I'll narrow my
Is it a big
eyes.
pain in your butt?
I'll narrow my eyes at Brightobar. Brightobar.
Yes, someone?
Do you already know what I want?
And he kind of leans in closer. Perhaps.
It's not much of an answer. It's not.
You accept my apologies. I'm in somewhat of a good mood. Perhaps prone to teasing.
That's okay.
In any case,
I guess I'll find out when I go to the room.
as I said, you will find your rooms accommodating.
Thank you. Hey, do you know what's going on out there? What's going on out there?
Yeah, are you...
You have to be more precise. Out
Are
there
we-
is such a vague concept.
Are we in?
They didn't get a name of the. Wait, did Mikhail say the name of the place? Did you say Mechanus?
No.
You did not.
Is that clock still out there? Are we in the clock? The clock city?
In the club. Yes.
With the robots
I
and the
believe
ants?
you are.
Are we also in a swamp?
You are not. That is a completely different story.
Did they stray from Destiny too?
No, but they were able to provide with the stories of their own. And so in return I gave them somewhere to hide for a while.
No.
Do you know what their destiny was?
I have a few insights.
Oh my god.
Speaking of insight.
Yeah, insight.
Oh, that was a poor roll.
This
I think
conversation.
I think it's a 10. Let's see. Yeah, it's a 10.
Rolled up into
Yeah.
My passive insight's really good.
Insight of 18.
Fantastic.
18 and Elam? 6. Okay. You're kind of taking him at his word, but Barnes, you have a feeling that he knows fucking exactly what's gonna happen to these people.
Period.
Well, I hope they're gonna be
Made the
okay.
solution, and I wonder if I was always going to.
Well,
Thought it was my choice, but now I don't know.
You made a choice about this passage of time you were so worried about.
Sort of.
I want to leave the clock.
But what about the dragon?
Yeah, that's my only worry. Is if we let the dragon thing happen. I mean, it's not like we're gonna go and talk to it. We could go talk to it.
I see.
Maybe we can
Well-
talk to it. But if it, the ant people and the block people were fighting, and there's a dragon over there. So, if the place that we're supposed to be in a month isn't there in a month, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, it is a special occasion. I believe there's no need to worry regarding your eventual departure. And as for these other stories going on, perhaps one or two of them will find you on your way.
That's not ominous at all.
But I need your decision.
Whatever you guys decide, I'm okay. I think whatever's going to happen is going to happen, whether we do it here or in another plane.
I think enough of us are uncomfortable enough here that it would be easier if we could just have enough time to leave.
Yeah, the spiders.
And I don't want to
especially are
speak for an entire group.
No. You can speak for me, dude. Go ahead. Fuck
But if
that.
that's okay with my friends,
I jumped away from where we were because I didn't care about it. I have no attachment to this place either, other than it's very interesting. But I think I've gleaned what I need to.
I had attachment to Baldur's Gate, but then it lost attachment to other things, such as the ground.
Yeah, gravity.
So I don't
Quite a
really have
fascinating
attachment
event,
to
wouldn't you
it.
say?
Yeah.
It certainly was. And
It's a good story.
Did you do it?
I feel like
Oh no.
you know far more about it than you let on.
You know, that's a
I'm
good
okay
question.
with
I told
that.
you the story.
As long as we wake up tomorrow,
You will wake up.
then everything here and everything you know is of no consequence.
I really need to get to the Feywild.
In 1 month's time, Mikhail told us that he would try to get us there.
Yeah. So,
I
if it
think
can be a month later,
might be best.
sooner, then my friends won't be so mad and won't hurt me.
Quite a,
I do have.
quite a character,
How-
this one.
How
Me?
Your
How
friend.
long
Your
did it take
friend.
us about? Oh,
Yeah.
you know him.
You know
Oh,
Mikhail?
Oh yes, he's somewhat of a kindred spirit.
How long did above table? How long did it take us to get from across the bridge to where we're at now?
About an hour-ish.
Okay, so we just got to make sure we have an hour or two, ish, maybe a little more to get back.
All right.
I would relay that to the party and then to right
You would like to exit about an hour and a half from the hour of your rendezvous.
Do we want a little more time than that, guys, or no?
Maybe a day? Half a day?
I'd say
Perhaps a little extra time
morning?
wouldn't hurt. We can always wait if we get there early.
Yeah.
I'd say
But
6
if we're
hours.
late, then who knows what we'll be stuck doing.
I
I'd say 6 to 8
understand.
hours because those ants were not happy.
Mr. Breovar, do you
Yes.
know what's in me?
I'm aware.
They're really mad.
I know.
Are they still mad?
They're quite upset with you.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah,
But they have that ring. It's another good reason.
yeah.
Perhaps it is something you should solve
before moving on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at my hand. I feel like I could, like, wrap my fingers around it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool, actually. um,
Yeah, that's why. If everyone's okay, yeah, that would be great.
If you want to attack with it, the damage is 1d4 plus your dex.
excellent.
Just
Yeah,
dagger.
it's like the natural weapons, claws and fangs. Got the, that's
God,
cool.
I hate it. Are you right or left-handed, Finny?
Good question.
Question. I'm assuming a little bit ambidextrous.
A little bit, yeah. I do
I hope
do a
so
little
at
two
this
weapon
point.
fighting.
I can kind of use both. Like if I'm playing with two friends, then I can pay attention to. But no, that's not.
If you're playing with yourself or, like, wiping.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, if you've made your decision, please, your guests here, you can proceed to your room. And
what decision did
when
we
you
make?
wake up,
Are we...
Hmm?
I was asking what decision we made because that sounded like we should stay here and work on the spider problem before we move on.
Appropriate time will have passed. I love so much how much Sinhead hates this. Alright.
Yeah.
No, I don't hate it. I'm just like gun shy. I'm just like fucking question. I'm
It's
like,
like this guy.
yeah, I'm just like super on edge.
Yeah,
Listen, we
Mark
didn't
is
get this
on-
far.
that's good.
My one
Lolo's
sense
doing
of
his thing.
stability is gone.
We didn't get this far by being smart.
Right.
Brightabar kind of points to the stairs that he came down from. So, your rooms are upstairs. You will find yours without trouble, I believe.
Thank you. Would it be okay if you sent up some lemon tarts?
Of course.
Thank you.
I'll grab his hand.
Thanks for your help.
Oh,
It's been
Of
very
course.
nice, and that's
and
nice.
it's been a privilege to encounter in person this delightful protagonist.
But what's that?
You will do just fine.
Oh,
I wish we hadn't lost that book. You would have really enjoyed it.
I'll head up.
Okay.
Before we head up, I asked anyone else in the room, hey, do any of you guys have, like, some spare, just, like, leather?
It seems likely.
And from behind his back, Brightabar produces a pouch. Well, not a pouch, but like a folder full of leathers of different kinds, and hands it over to you. You need just ask.
I didn't want to put you out, thank you. And I looked through to see if there's any, like, purple leather.
There is.
Alright, well. In for a penny, in for a pound, I thank him, and I takes it.
oh,
Okay.
yeah. Do you have any shiny stones? Shiny things? Pretty things?
He thinks for a bit. There's a smile that ever so slightly creeps into his face, and it recedes immediately. And he holds up a finger. Just wait one moment.
Okay.
Does the word Faustian mean anything to you guys?
Fisting?
Yeah.
And
Fisting?
Good time.
I
and
heard about
he
fisting.
comes back. He comes back almost like only like 10 seconds later, and he hands to Fenny a small pot with on top of it one of these crystalline flowers that was adorning the building.
That's really pretty.
Flowers are scary, by the way.
Should I tell you a story to pay for it?
Oh, you already have.
I didn't, but okay.
I told all of our story.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Take good care of it.
Do I water it?
I didn't sign a contract or anything, so I hope that we can still, like, write the book about it and make money.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't need water.
Oh, well that's easy. Thanks.
You should talk to it. It's quite a relaxing.
Okay. I can't talk to my spiders right now because they're mad at me. So I'll talk to the flower. Thanks.
Now hop upstairs.
All right. What's everybody doing?
I am going to, for the rest of the night, so I'm gonna go up to my room. There's like a forge and stuff in there.
You
gonna take out-
open. You head upstairs, kind of unsure of where to find your room, but there's a door that just calls to you. And as you open it, behind it, it's more than a forge. It's a whole atelier of like craftsmanship of every kind. There's tools out the wazoo. It's really well equipped.
Yeah, this is the best and worst place I've ever been. I'm gonna use my tools, but like whatever's there, but also just like my tools that I brought with me. And I'm going to work on taking some of that brass that I took from the ground earlier that I slipped in my bag, and forging handles for my 2 daggers, and using the leather as like covering
Yeah.
that holds it and
For the grip,
decorative. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll make a roll
That's my
for it
night.
in a minute. Is everybody heading up?
I'm going outside.
You can.
You're gonna. Okay. You got a lot of role playing to do.
I don't trust it.
I just gotta. Well, he's gonna tell you. If you wish to wait outside, I have no objection. However, with the arrangements made with your friends, you might have to wait a while.
Oh yeah.
Everyone into the time machine. All aboard.
You can wait on the outside of the time machine. You're just gonna have to get to the end of it the long way around. Thank you, Peter Capaldi.
All right, can I hole up with somebody else? I don't want to sleep in a room by myself. I don't care if it, I don't care. I'll sleep next to the fucking forge or whatever. I don't care.
If you so desire.
Yeah. Can I hole up?
This is all for your convenience.
Oh God.
You know, Penny always likes friends.
All right, Rabbit. I will room with you, but no touchy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, man.
That's okay, of course.
So everybody's heading up. In Fenny, you find your room the same way Elam did his, and you guide N there. And inside, you find yourself outside. And it looks like a portion, almost like plucked up from Harangun village, bordering the Feywild. And right next to the little hut that's there, there's a cart.
Wonderful.
We finally found the bargain that Anne wanted.
When I walk into the room, holding the little pot in one hand and holding N's hand in the other, I drop both. The pot just thuds into the dirt, and Fenny just looks at the village and just a little tear just runs down his cheek. Just,
Rabbit? You alright, man?
do I hear any other voices besides N?
Yep.
I don't answer N, and I run towards the voices.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah, he's fine.
Inside, whatever hut you pick, there's Harangan families. They all kind of have the same white markings on their shoulders and torsos. They look fairly tribal, and they're all they have a brown tint to them with white tufts of hair here and there. They're all very, very friendly.
Do they look
Kind of-
familiar?
No.
Okay. I'm looking at them. My heart sinks a little that they're not familiar faces. But
They look like
they
as
look.
friendly as you can look,
Yeah.
and they're
But
like,
they still
"Hi, we
look.
have a bed ready for you. We were waiting."
Hi, I'm Fenny.
It's nice to meet you, Finn.
Thank you so much. You.
And a sort of like realization of this being the garden space. This, I push it aside and I just,
I'm so happy to see you.
And this Harrigan woman that greeted you, she looks at you and said, "Everything is gonna be okay," and kind of embraces you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Thank you.
And finally, Barnes. I'm ashamed to say that I don't know as much about what your character would want to stay in. So I'm gonna give this page to you and let you describe what your room would look like as you find it upstairs.
So the door opens and it's like stone, like finely cut, smooth as glass stone walls. And it's very, if it weren't so well crafted, it would be described as Spartan. But like, essentially like a chamber for a pope, essentially. Like everything, there's nothing there that you don't need. But everything that is there is very, very well made, very high quality.
Made in Dwarven, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Very, like, again, just like dead cut stone, and everything would be like too perfect of angles.
like opulent brutalist architecture.
Yes!
I like it. I like it.
And like maybe a shelf of books on one end, and a hearth kind of at the foot of the bed, just far enough away that it wouldn't be uncomfortable.
Okay.
Well, there you go. You all have rooms kind of fulfilling your desires. And the night is pretty tranquil.
I spend most of the time
every-
playing games with the
Yeah.
Haragon, talking to
I-
them in. Do they understand specifically Lagosian?
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm speaking to them in Lagosian.
So even in the morning, everybody, you're kind of taking your time doing what you wanted to do. Elam, can you roll me a dexterity check with your proficiency? Twice.
Right? Dirty 20? Excuse me, dirty 20.
20. Okay. Twice?
And the second one, oh shit. 12.
12. Okay. So you have a very well crafted blade and a kind of standard blade. Which handle do you put on which?
The well-made one gets the better handle.
Okay. All right. Let's stat that. So you have a very well crafted handle for your dagger, and it's the blade was super well made, and the handle dirty 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this dagger, I'm gonna give it a d6 damage.
Sweet. Yeah.
And the other one will have the standard
Up in the damage die. That's
dagger standard.
That's pretty rad.
All right. So that was your crafting, and everybody's kind of taking in those rooms even in the morning. Fanny keeps playing with the Harangan children that are running about. Anne is kind of reveling in the meeting with a new cart. And as you all kind of decide that enough time has passed and that it's time to go, when you open the door to your room, all doors open at the same time.
Oh,
As you all exit at the exact same time.
Oh,
And I reach behind me to where I left it in the just inside the door. I reach behind me and pick up the opal flower off the ground.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll miss you.
As you. We'll miss you too. Come back whenever you want. All right. As you all head downstairs, and Brightabar is there, with his arms crossed, looking a little bit curious. He's got an eyebrow raised. Well, I must apologize. It appears I wasn't able to satisfy the full duration of the time you expected should have passed. It appears that you have a visitor. And he kind of steps away and kind of disappears behind the angle of a wall as the door of the tavern flies open. And there stands, sword drawn, a Gith with beautiful plate armor inlaid with red gemstones, kind of sword brandish, kind of pointing it at all of you. He goes, "You're not from this plane neither. You will get me home." And that's where we're gonna end the session.
Well, fine. Also, mechanically, we did get a long rest, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh my god. I have more questions for Brighter.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, Fenny. Especially after that night. Fenny has so many questions for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. But damn, a Gith, a fucking spell jamming, plane hopping,
Hell yeah.
son of a bitch, just rolls up. Give me your jacket, your pants, and your motorcycle.
All right.
Woo, boy.
Hope you guys had fun.
That was
Yeah.
fucking
That was cute.
fantastic. Yes.
All right.
In case it wasn't clear for you guys, I mean it's plain as day. But I've dealt with the Opal Garden before with 2 other characters. This is
It is.
some
It
kind
is a
of place.
special
I heard-
place.
I heard some stories
Yeah.
about the place, and
My
I
wizards.
believe our host, right?
Yes. And the host.
Yeah, the host is who we were talking about.
Yeah.
Took me a minute.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Once he dropped the name Brightabar, I was like, yeah, there he is. There's a man. There's a man.
The context is, Slappy was like, God, you're not going to drop Brightabar on us, are you?
Right. And here we are.
Something to that effect.
And here we are. We can't have a Lolo campaign without tickling the ivories, or the opals, I should say.
Yeah.
He's
That
interesting.
was gonna be an inclusion at some point.
It's gotta be, yeah. It's like you're not gonna have a Slappy campaign without sliding glorious in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Without a
Well,
glorious insert
everybody, I
of
hope-
some kind.
Everybody, I hope you enjoyed the session. It's great fun for me, and I'm gonna have fun with this. Come see us again in 2 weeks on Saturday.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
We're playing the Storm Riders, and of course check out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Level Heads, same time.
Same time, same place. Some of the same people. Several of the
Yeah.
same people. Most of the same people.
A good majority of the same people.
Yes. So, what
Some
have we
people.
here? What have we here? What is going on right now?
Yeah, it's just still going.
Yeah, actually, yeah. This is quite appropriate.
I do have. Okay, good. Prepare that.
Let's go send us over to Azrael XX, who, and we go from tabletop wherein resides a slutty bunny to maybe an accidentally slutty bunny. He's just got a very immature understanding of intimacy. So it's good to go to this this stream right now where they're doing a Let's Talk About Sex talk show / podcast / whatever, just a Q&A, AMA discussion about sexuality and all sorts of interesting things like that. So it's great to have those sort of mature discussions with experts, shall we say. Maybe Fanny could benefit from some of that wisdom.
Az is Canadian, making it a Q&A.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna let that one go.
Right, so let's go over there and send some love to Az and friends. Give them a good old ride of the meat train. Quite appropriately, send those slappy-doogasms. If you don't have a slappy-doogasm, why? But give them any gasm you got, because what is a little gasm between friends, after all? So we will see you all next time. Until then, stay easy.
Hell yeah.